While photography has helped provide a voice to some people who otherwise might not be heard, there are some cultures from long ago that might have been forgotten had they not been uncovered by scientific excavation. Mound Bottom State Archaeological Area is one such place. Not only did this historic site need to be discovered, there also needed to be a better way for visitors to get in to see it. The landscape can keep a record of the past. Mound Bottom, just above the Harpeth River, has hoarded historic information for many generations, from the Native Americans who made a community here to the farmers who plowed it.
Most people haven't seen this. Most people have been to the narrows of the Harpeth, but very few have been here. Most people don't even know it exists.
And this is the very first visit for some of the people in a group organized by the 10 Green Land Conservancy.
For our donors that are supporting our work, it's just a fun place to go out and see. Of course, it's open to the public with guided tours only by the Harpeth River State Park, but it's really a spectacular place.
I'm here to enjoy a good day out. I'm here to enjoy God's gifts to our state. I mean, any chance to walk through our nature should be embraced.
This trail is the only access by land to the mounds. Ranger Lisa Householder leads the way.
So the river's right here. We're going downstream. It's going to do a huge horseshoe around, and when we're going to hike up a little, you'll see downstream right over here. So anyone trying to get into Mound Bottom, you'd have to cross the river. So this would be your only access.
The Mound Bottom property in Cheatham County was purchased, preserved, and protected by the state of Tennessee in 1972. For decades, rangers had to use an easement across private property that included a driveway to enter the mound area. But in 2009, the 10 Green Land Conservancy, formerly known as Tennessee Parks and Greenways, acquired the property on behalf of the state.
Years ago, we worked, we raised money, we expanded this section of the park, but today we're out here having fun, walking with donors, just having a good time.
I love it that they can see what they helped preserve.
The protected mounds preserve a part of Native American history dating back close to 1,000 years, based on archaeological studies and relics discovered at the site. Some of those are on display at Montgomery Bell State Park. One of the mounds was for burial, but 11 flat-top mounds had structures on them. The buildings were believed to have been used for either political or religious purposes.
Since we're on the ceremonial mound, we're here with all the chiefs looking out over and possibly like a game being played. You could also have maybe even kind of like our farmers market. You kind of come together here for trading for your pottery or, you know, your pelts or your corn. So this would have been your social area out here. And then you have like their houses. So the houses would probably have been on the outside of these mounds right here.
The name of the tribe is unknown, so the mound builders are identified as Mississippians because they started their culture in communities along the Mississippi River and its tributaries.
So I've been a park ranger here since 2006, so I've been doing Mound Bottom tours since then, hiking out there and having people learn about the Mississippian culture is what I really love about my job.
Ranger Householder has led hundreds of guided tours over the years, many of them for school-aged children, like this group in 2015.
It's a very peaceful, spiritual place out here, so I really love doing hikes and tours. And I've met people in Australia, coming from Europe, and they have just never seen an Indian mound complex like this, and kind of it's so hidden and different.
Part of her educational job has been to dispel common myths.
I thought all mounds were used for burying dead people purposes, but here I realized that they're actually used to build houses on, and I had no idea before. I thought they were just used to bury dead people in.
It's really easy, and it's so neat to see about like all the different historical things that the Indians did and how they survived here.
They were really cool. They it also like about the stuff, how they do like farming up there, build houses.
It's so cool just to like think that way back then they were actually living here, and like the chief was like up on top of the hill, and it was really cool to like be in that position and look out, and you can just imagine all the houses that people would have lived in back then. So
I had never really gotten to see the perspective of how high the mounds were, and to stand up on top of the mound and to see just really how high it was, and think about how they had to have the time and the effort that it took to build these mounds using baskets and whatever they had is phenomenal.
Actually, one of the best parts of doing a lot of these hikes to the Indian mounds are all the questions, and some of the questions that I don't know the answer makes me want to go back and find the answer for them, so it makes me a better educator. So the more people that come out here, the more questions that I get, that makes me, want to read more and study more about the Native Americans.
Such was her perspective back in 2015, and it hasn't changed. Neither has the mission of the 10 Green Land Conservancy, and the tour of Mound Bottom offers inspiration for the future.
To me, it's a race. It's a race against development. And I don't mean development in a critical way, but concrete is your final crop, and we want to protect against that.
Tennessee's Wild Side has been a presentation of the Jackson Foundation in association with Rockwater TV.